fun to do that. And I like the theatrical experience, and going to festivals is one of those things where one of the reasons to go to festivals is because they're fun. And it's nice to see your film in front of an audience. And so that's, even if it doesn't have any other utilitarian value to it or whatever. But then there's definitely this idea that you can, I mean, if you know the story of Burn, which is a documentary, which is different because there's a lot of documentaries that do this very well, but Burn is this film about Detroit firemen, Tom Putnam, and it's a great film by itself. You don't, if anybody would enjoy it, but if you're a fireman, it's like mandatory that you see it. And they put together one of the best. I mean, I know the story really well. I mean, he wrote about it as well in Filmmaker Magazine, which I don't know if that story's online, but it may be now. But he made like over $1 million. Sorry?
He made his money.
Yeah, I mean there were so many different elements to it. It wasn't just the theatrical. They made over $1 million theatrically, but they sold merchandise to a third of the audience for each screening, and it wasn't the film. They weren't even selling the film. Like they made that money later. It was like a whole really incredibly well done plan. But all that started very early days while they were shooting the film. They were starting to build up that audience and whatever. But so there is there's definitely something out there, an opportunity out there for people who are thinking about this and thinking about who their niche audiences are to do event screenings. And he did better with that film when he did those screenings himself than when he started, bringing in somebody like a booker and using AMC and all this stuff.
Old Bruce Brown,
exactly.
Summer model.
Exactly. Or the skiing guy, the Miller guy. Yeah.
Do our panelists have anything else to say before we open it up to the audience?
I'm good.
Do you want to take a chance? All right. So anyone have any questions?
There's a young lady over there.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the question is what's the kind of creative thing that they're looking for, not materials and stuff that they're looking for. I mean, first of all, I go to Sundance every year to try to answer that question for me, because I like to think that I'm making films that will be kind of Sundance films, and I work with the same director mostly. And our first film was in Sundance, and we think, every time we're going to make a film, and then the other ones don't get in. In fact, one of them was a lab project that didn't get in. So it's not an easy thing to figure out. But if you go, or if you don't go, you watch the films that got in, and a lot of them don't get theatrical. So you've got to dig around and find them, whatever. But I go every year. I try to see all the next films, because that's the category that I feel like my films are most suited for.